YouTube? Thanks for checking out another Film Geek Movie Spotlight. Today I'm talking about the 2011 film, Real Steel.
But
What?
I won't do it unless you help me.
I can't dance. You're on your own there.
Oh, boxing.
Oh,
I
see,
programmed the
I see.
robot. You teach him to box.
And you dance. And you dance.
Yeah,
Yeah?
deal.
Deal.
Right.
That's really cool.
Real Steel is directed by Shawn Levy and it's starring Hugh Jackman and Evangeline Lilly. In the near future, robot boxing is the biggest sport in the world, and a father and son team have decided that they're going to try to go for the World Championship of Robot Boxing. Director Shawn Levy decided to set the film in state farms and other old-fashioned American settings that would exude nostalgia and create a warm tone to the film's father-son story. There was also an attempt to make the scenery blend in with the new and old technology. Filming began in June of 2010 and it ended October 15th, 2010. Now some of you might think that this is in some way related to the Parker Brothers toy Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That is not true. The film is actually based off Steel, a 1956 short story by I Am Legend author Richard Matheson. Real Steel was released October 7th, 2011 in the States, and it grossed $300 million on a $110 million budget, making the film a bona fide financial success. And critics actually enjoyed this film a little bit, and it's sitting on the tomatoes that are not so rotten at a 60%. So what do I like about this movie? Well, this is one of those great dad movies. This is one of those moments where dad has with the kids where you can all sit down on the couch and you can watch one of those movies that make you feel good that you're a good dad, because the dad in Real Steel kind of sucks at first. He gets better, but he starts off as kind of a self-centered asshole. But you know, this is one of those movies where he has to start as a self-centered asshole. Anyways, this is definitely a really good family film if you want to have one of those dad with the kid nights. The special effects in this film are also outstanding. They use a blend of both CGI and practical effects for the robots, which really give the robots a very good sense of mass. As I've said before, my biggest complaint with CGI is it just looks like these big, realistic looking cartoons bopping around on the screen with no real heft to it, no real weight. They just look like big cartoony balloons to me. But in this movie, the robots look like solid things. And in fact, they do a great job of blending the practical effects with the CGI effects. And at some points, it's a little difficult to tell where the CGI and the practical effects actually begin and end, which is just so great. I love seeing movies like this that can blend practical with CGI seamlessly, where you don't notice where one begins and the other one ends. The story in this film is pretty basic, and it is definitely one of those typical feel-good stories where the hero does their best and, well, let's just say things happen. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but it is a family film, so I digress. Anyways, the movie does a good job of entertaining both the older viewers and the younger viewers at the same time. And not in that way where it's like, hey, there's some hidden jokes in this movie for the adults. No, in a way that genuinely entertains both ages. The good thing is that the film does not come off as cheesy, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Hugh Jackman doesn't just phone in his performance. He does a really solid job in this film as a father who's just trying to do his best, who has absolutely no idea what to do. And he does a very good, convincing performance. And I think that's one of the things that really adds to this movie is that the cast is really solid and it does a really good job. All in all, Real Steel is a great PG-13 family film that everyone is going to sit down, enjoy, and take something away with. And if you're curious and you want to watch this film, well, you can find it right now streaming for members on HBO Max. If you're not a member of HBO Max, you can rent the film. You can find it on YouTube, Vudu, and Google Movies. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.